Welcome back to Chronicles. We're just going into Mark chapter 9 now, the Transfiguration. So this is a fantastic story.
Yeah.
We're going to do it in two halves. So one up a mountain, one down a mountain. Here we go. After 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James and John with him and led him up a high mountain where they were all alone. There he was transfigured before them. His clothes became dazzling white, whiter than anyone in the world could bleach them. And there appeared before them Elijah and Moses, who were talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He did not know what to say. They were so frightened. Then a cloud appeared and covered them, and a voice came from the cloud. "This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him." What?
Yeah.
There's some fantastic stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Poor old Peter.
No. He fair play to him. He's always the one who stands up to say something.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's garbage, but at least he's having a go.
It's good to remember that Mark's big source for his material was probably Peter. Yeah. Right?
And he's not hiding his embarrassing.
And so it's kind of like it's good that he's like, I remember I remember the mountain. I had no idea what I was on about.
I bet James and John were like, "Oh, Peter, don't forget this detail, mate."
Yeah. A little parenthesis there. He did not know what to say. But it's an incredible, it's an incredible event, isn't it? The Transfiguration. He goes up. Jesus takes these three chief apostles. And they see something incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the mountain is the place where, in scriptural language and pictures, it's where God. It's where you go to meet God. Moses goes up the mountain to get the 10 Commandments and all of this stuff, and God is. So it's the place where you meet God. Jesus going up there is symbol. He's trying to show I'm God, and we see that here in some way, don't we? Because he's transfigured. Yeah, and his clothes become dazzling white, whiter than anyone in the world could bleach them. Bang,
Daz,
bang,
your heart.
bang. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just a little glimpse of Jesus's glory and how veiled he was to the world. That he just looked like a normal bloke.
Yeah, and for any Jew sort of reading verse 4 again, and there appeared before them Elijah and Moses. It's like, look, we are giving our, not that Jesus necessarily needed it, but here is our stamp. We've got 2 witnesses, right? Which is any sort of testimony that was to be believed. 2 witnesses, and here come not just any 2 witnesses, but the law and the prophets. All of the Old Testament is sort of bowing to Jesus.
Definitely.
And say, this is what we're all about.
In Luke's Gospel, it kind of expands on what they're talking about. Here, I think it just says they're talking with Jesus, but in Luke's Gospel, we see that they were talking with Jesus about his departure, which is his death and his resurrection. So the law and the prophets, as you say, are talking with Jesus, are in agreement with Jesus about his death. So, and when Jesus is risen from the grave and he starts with the law and the prophets, doesn't he? And explains through Scripture how all of it's about him. This is exactly what's going on here. Moses and Elijah are like, it's all about you and your departure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then that's when sort of Jesus. That's when Peter does sort of pipe up, and he's always thinking like, oh mate, I've just joined the best club in the world. How did I get here? And he's wanting to build some shelters and. Maybe thinking like this is a great place to live. I could settle down here. But that's not what it's about, is it? He just doesn't understand what he's talking about.
But I think that's why it's really interesting when this cloud appears, and the cloud is like the interface, or cloud represents God's presence sort of in the world. And this cloud appears and covers them, and a voice comes from the cloud. So this is the Father speaking. This is my Son, whom I love. Listen to him. You're seeing this picture and you're going, oh, we need to build some stuff. We need to build some. And God's saying, listen, he's brought his word. We've just heard.
To be fair, I feel like, Peter he's our representative.
Absolutely,
there, right?
yeah.
Because
we would be the same.
Chronicles, half the time I'm sort of feeling like Peter. What am I going on about? But it is. He's sort of the fall guy. He's the one that's there for us. He's the one that God says it to first.
Right.
But God says it to everyone. Are you listening to Jesus? That is the big point of this story. Look at what happened to him. Look at who he is.
Yeah.
And are you listening to him?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen to Jesus.
Yeah. Have you heard actually what he said?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, I followed Jesus. I believe in Jesus." Really?
Yeah.
Have you heard what he said about you, about him?
Really listen to it.
Really listen to it.